Sophie Cunningham signals interest in rejoining Clark, Lexie Hull at her charity event. The Sophie Cunningham Classic has been a hit on its first day. From a huge turnout of high schoolers wanting to showcase their skills to a wide array of sponsors aiding the cause, the event looks like a huge hit already. And the Indiana Fever star Sophie Cunningham was taking it all in courtside at the event, speaking to ABC 17 News reporter Nathalie Jones. Sophie credited her time with the Indiana Fever for her popularity and as one of the reasons behind the huge success of the Sophie Cunningham Classic. The currently injured guard even talked about her Indiana Fever teammates, Clark and Lexie Hull, and the locker room environment. We all had a vision of what this team could be. We kept the main thing, that's winning basketball games. When we all started going down, our team just got closer and closer. Hopefully, we can keep our core together and go get a championship together, she told Nathalie Jones when asked about Clark, Lexie Hull, and the culture at the Indiana Fever. The camaraderie between Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and the entire Indiana Fever roster has been evident both on and off the court this season. From taking technical fouls in an attempt to defend their teammates on the court to participating in each other's celebrations off it, the Indiana Fever has become one tight-knit unit. And from what Sophie shared, it's clear that the belief in this core and the shared aspiration to win a championship could bring her back to Indiana, even as a free agent, and despite her saying, "I want a bigger contract, so then I could buy a house," the Fever's chemistry and commitment might just outweigh other options for her and the franchise both. Because it's not just about Sophie, it's more about the team, the culture, and the goal of chasing a title together. The 2025 campaign saw the Indiana Fever face a lot of obstacles, with injuries forcing them to even go for emergency signing. The team had 5 season-ending injuries between July and August, starting with Clark, Sydney Colson, Ari McDonald, Cunningham, and Chloe Bibby. In the midst of all this, Kelsey Mitchell stepped up as the Indiana Fever narrowly missed out on making it to the WNBA Finals. Sophie Cunningham made sure to give a shout-out to Kelsey, too, during her conversation with Jones. But what this tells us is the story of the season wasn't just the wins. It was how, even with injuries piling up, the team stuck together. Some players could only cheer from the sideline, yet they were there for each other every step of the way, proving that the Fever's strength goes far beyond just what happens on the court. Now, as the offseason continues and players nurse their injuries, recover, and rest ahead of the new season, the Indiana Fever have some tough decisions to make moving forward. The Indiana Fever and the problem of plenty heading into 2026. There's an air of positivity surrounding the Indiana Fever. While the franchise missed out on a WNBA Finals appearance, they showed just how strong a squad they have, even without their star, Clark. Not to mention their Commissioner's Cup success by beating defending champions Minnesota Lynx in the final. However, the Indiana Fever are now spoiled for choice ahead of the expansion draft heading into 2026. The franchise can only protect 6 players from the expansion draft, potentially 5 depending on the CBA terms. Clark and Aaliyah Boston are currently contracted to the Indiana Fever and are former first picks, making them almost automatic choices to be protected. Lexie Hull enters 2026 as a restricted free agent, but the Fever have first refusal rights and an option to match the highest offer. The 26-year-old, who is a cornerstone of the Indiana Fever roster, has expressed her desire to stay with the franchise. Kelsey Mitchell, another unrestricted free agent, is the Fever's first priority, as they have already made clear. But a lot of it will depend on whether the core rules leave her eligible or not. Then there's rookie Michaela Timpson, who is also one of 3 players under contract with the Fever in 2026. Hence, it appears that several strong players, such as Ari McDonald, Sophie Cunningham, Sydney Colson, Damaris Dantas, Brianna Turner, Chloe Bibby, and Christy Wallace, writes a contract, are players the Fever are unlikely to protect in the expansion draft. Sure, head coach Stephanie White would love to keep as many of her core players as possible while also seeing the return of Clark from her season-ending injury. That combination should set the franchise up for another deep run in 2026, perhaps going 1 or 2 steps further toward the ultimate goal, the WNBA championship. But it remains to be seen what their final call will be.